Softball on MeTV FM 97.5.
Welcome back to Rhoads Stadium. Alabama and UAB about to get started here in what is the final home midweek game of the 2024 season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Of course, Alabama will have some road matchups in April, but this will be it for the midweeks at home for the season. And the Tide welcomes UAB to town for the first time this year, but this is the third time Alabama and UAB have faced off. And here is the DCH starting lineup for the visiting Blazers. The starters are presented by the DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. UAB comes into today's ball game at 12-15 overall. They're 2-8 in true road games this season, and they are on an overall 4-game losing streak for their head coach, A.J. Doherty. Center fielder Bella Wiggins will lead things off with Hannah Dorsett, the shortstop, batting second. Batting third is the third baseman, Lindsey Smith. Olivia Volbach, the designated player, will bat fourth. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Alyssa Aguilar. Kaylee Collette, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Batting seventh is the catcher, Mackenzie Drody. Hannah Miles, the right fielder, bats eighth, and batting ninth is the left fielder, Auburn Dupree. They'll face in the circle for the Crimson Tide, the right-handed senior from Dothan, Alabama, Jayla Torrance. Torrance on the year with a 1.39 ERA and a 7-3 overall record. She has now making her 13th appearance, 10th start. She has 2 complete games, and she's pitched 40 in the third innings on the season. And the first pitch to Bella Wiggins is a little outside for ball one. 40 in the third innings pitched, 22 hits, 11 runs, 8 earned, 10 walks, and 46 strikeouts. Opponents batting 154 on Torrance on the year. That pitch high again, 2 balls and no strikes. And this is not the first time this season that Jayla has faced UAB. She pitched 2 innings and got a victory against the Blazers. Called strike, 2-1. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts against UAB as Alabama defeated UAB twice up in the Green and Gold Classic in February. The 2-1 called strike, 2-2 on Bella Wiggins, who's batting .329. 24 of 73, 19 runs scored, 6 doubles, 6 triples, a homer, and 9 runs driven in. Wiggins 0 for 4 against Alabama this year. Slaps that one foul, and we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensively for the Crimson Tide here this evening, Jenna Johnson's in left, Lauren Johnson in center, Kendall Clark in right, Dowling at third, Cahalan at short, Hevlin at second, Broadfoot at first, and Giles catching Torrance's pitches. Dukeshire is the DP. That one is slapped to first. It's going to be a race to the bag, and the tag is applied by Emma Broadfoot. Wiggins couldn't beat it out, and there's one gone for UAB here in the top of the first inning. That will bring up Hannah Dorsett, another lefty. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Dorsett batting .360, 27 of 75, 9 runs scored, 3 doubles, a triple, and 13 RBIs on the season. The 0-1 pitch. Flared to left, underneath it to make the catch is Jenna Johnson, and quickly there's 2 gone. The first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. That will bring up the third baseman, Lindsey Smith. First pitch to the righty. Checked her swing. She didn't go too high. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith batting .342. 25 of 73, 16 runs scored, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 4 homers, and 21 runs driven in. Leads the team in both homers and RBIs, and swings and misses at that one, 1-1. Umpires for today's ball game. Aaron Golden is behind home plate. Scott Mayer at first. Tanya Cash, the third base umpire. The 1-1 pitch. Little high, 2-1. 2 out, nobody on. Just underway, Alabama and UAB. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Alabama leads the all-time series over UAB 32-0. It's the third time this year these two teams have played. Alabama taking 2 from UAB in Birmingham by final scores of 8-0 and 15-0. 2-0. Ooh, just missed. Maybe a touch high. Counts full 3-2. These games happen on February 23rd and February 25th. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alabama 56-5 all time against the current makeup of the American Athletic Conference. Conference UAB is playing in this season for the first time. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smith chased one low and outside, and that'll do it for the Blazers here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We played a half inning. UAB nothing. Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the home half of the first inning. No score between Alabama and UAB. Here is the DCH starting lineup for the 13th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. The starters are presented by DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. Alabama entering today's game at 23-5 overall, 11-3 here at the Rhoads House on the year on a 2-game win streak following last night's 11-2 win over Samford. And here's the lineup from Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy. The left fielder is Jenna Johnson. She'll lead things off. Callie Hevlin, second base, batting second. Abby Duxer, the designated player, bats third. Marley Giles catching, batting fourth. Kinley Cahalan, the shortstop, bats fifth. Bailey Dowling, third baseman, batting sixth. Kendall Clark, the right fielder, bats seventh. Emma Broadfoot, first base, batting eighth. And Lauren Johnson, the center fielder, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Alabama, for UAB. First pitch to Jenna Johnson is a called strike, 0-1. The right-handed senior from Ashburn, Virginia, Olivia Vollback. The 0-1. Johnson with a ground ball to short. Waiting on it, making the stop at the throw is Dorsett, and there's one away. Vollback on the year with a .396 ERA and a 3-4 record. This is her 8th appearance and 7th start. She has 2 complete games, 35 and a third innings pitched, 41 hits, 23 runs, 20 earned, 9 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .279 against Vollback on the year. First pitch to Callie Hevlin, fouled away for strike 1. Alabama has not seen Vollback this season. It was a little surprising she didn't get one of the starts against Alabama in Birmingham. Beginning to start here. That one's low, 1-1 on Callie Hevlin. Hevlin batting .260, 20 of 77, 11 runs scored, 3 doubles, 4 homers, and 17 RBIs on the year. And that's in the dirt, 2-1. Hevlin was 1 for 4 with a couple of ribbies against the Blazers in 2 games up in Birmingham. The 2-1 pitch. Hevlin with a fly ball to right, and that's going to get over the right fielder's head and get all the way to the wall. Hevlin rounds first, heads to second, where she will slide in safely. And that's a 1-out double for Callie Hevlin. First base hit and first base runner of the day for the Crimson Tide coming here in the first inning. First inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa for over 42 years. Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. Abby Dukeshire steps in, and the first pitch is low for ball one. Duke batting .370, 30 of 81 with 11 runs scored, 5 doubles, 6 homers, and 26 RBIs on the year, leading the team in both those categories. Low again, 2-0. Against UAB this season, Duke is 4 of 7 with 2 runs scored, a double, a homer, and 5 RBIs. Low again, 3 balls and no strikes on Dukeshire, and Drody will go out to talk with Ballback. The defensive alignment for the Blazers: Dupree in left, Wiggins in center, Miles in right, Smith at third, Dorsett at short, Collette at second, Aguilar first, Drody catching, Ballback pitching, and Plug will be the DP in a non-batting role. .3-0 pitch. There's the strike, 3-1. That's low and outside for ball 4. Now Alabama threatening here in the first inning. In the first matchup with UAB on February 23rd, Alabama scored 8 runs in the first inning. That was all they scored, but that was all they needed. Won 8-0 in 5 innings. Trying to strike first again here in this one with Marley Giles to the plate. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Giles batting .317, 13 of 41, 7 runs scored, 4 doubles, 4 homers, 8 runs driven in. Fouled off at the plate, 1-1. Giles against UAB, this was game 2 in the 15-0 game, was 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, 2 home runs, 2 runs scored. It was a good day for her. Swings and misses there, 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Giles swings and misses at the drop ball for strike 3.
Shortstop, number 31, Kenley Kylan.
Now 2 outs, runners on first and second. Kenley Cahalan to the plate. Kenley batting .295, 23 of 78, 16 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 12 RBIs. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Cahalan also 4 for 7 with 2 runs scored, a double, and 3 RBIs against UAB up in Birmingham during the Green and Gold Classic. Takes that one low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Cahalan with a fly ball to deep center field, but ranging back and making the catch on the warning track is Wiggins for out number 3 to retire the side. Cahalan gave it a ride, but it stayed in the ballpark. And that'll do it for Alabama here in the first inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 1. It's UAB 0, Alabama 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the top of the second inning. No score between Alabama and UAB. Due up for the Blazers here in the second. Volbeck, Aguilar, and Collette. 4-5-6 against Shayla Torrance in the circle for the Crimson Tide. She set down UAB in order in the first inning. Starting pitcher Olivia Volbeck will lead things off. Volbeck batting .274, 20 of 73 with 5 runs scored, 4 doubles, and 10 RBIs on the year. Volbeck against Alabama in February was 2 for 3. One of the few offensive bright spots for UAB in those games, and the first pitch to her is sliced foul for strike 1 down the right field line. Today's weather and field condition report is brought to you by the Cook Museum of Natural Science. Discover something amazing at the Cook Museum of Natural Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cookmuseum.org. The 0-1. In there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Volbeck with a ground ball, a diving stop by Hevlin. She knocks it down but can't corral it. So that'll be an infield single for Olivia Volbeck, the first base runner of the ball game for UAB.
First baseman number 55, Alyssa Aguilar.
And that will bring up Alyssa Aguilar. Left-handed hitting first baseman steps in. First pitch, squares around the bunt, pulls it back. Takes a called strike. Aguilar batting .197, 12 of 61 with 4 runs scored and 6 runs driven in. She was 0 for 4 in 2 games against Alabama. The 0-1. That bunt is down. Torrance comes out of the circle and throws it wide into right field. Clark comes up throwing, but it won't be in time, and Olivia Volbeck scores the first run that UAB has scored against Alabama in 2+ games, and UAB takes a 1-0 lead. It was just a high bounce on the bunt. Torrance fielded it, had time, but the throw was wide. Runner got to second, and Volbeck came in to score. Kaylee Collette steps in. She puts that button down, and it's foul for strike 1. So that'll be a sack for Aguilar. No RBI. Volbeck scores an unearned run. The 0-1, that bunt is down. Dowling has this one and throws to Hevlin covering for out number 1. Runner moved to third.
Catcher number 7, Mackenzie Brody.
And Mackenzie Drody to the plate. First pitch to Drody. Right in there for a called strike. The 0-1. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Drody. Batting .152, 7 of 46 with 4 runs scored, a double, and 4 RBIs on the year. It was 0 for 2. Played 1 game against Alabama. The 1-1, waved at and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Oh, is high, and a nice stop by Giles to keep that one from getting past her. The count moves to 2-2. It's about to give you the weather report, then all that stuff happened. 69 degrees at first pitch under sunny skies. When the wind blows, it blows out around 6 miles per hour. She went too far around on the check swing. Drody's down on strikes, and there's 2 away. Tied strikeouts are brought to you by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa for over 42 years. Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. So 2 outs now for the right fielder, Hannah Miles. First pitch, fouled away for strike 1. Miles batting .212, 11 of 52 with 8 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. Miles is 1 for 3 against Alabama this season. The 0-1, fouled away again, no balls and 2 strikes. Torrance looks in, and the 0-2 pitch. And that's a fly ball to shallow right, and that's going to fall. There was a miscommunication between Kendall Clark in right and Callie Hevlin at second. They had it to do it again. I think they would say let Callie make that catch because Kendall had a long way to run, but Hevlin gave way to Clark, who tried to make a diving catch on it and wasn't able to make the play. First pitch to Auburn Dupree is in there for a called strike. Dupree batting .192, 5 of 26, 5 runs scored. That bunt is down. Torrance makes the stop, and the throw, it was off the mark, but I think Dupree had beat it out anyway. And now Lance McMahon is going to come out to talk with Jayla Torrance. Runners now on first and second. 2 runs have scored. They're both unearned. But it has been a very disjointed and nervy inning defensively for the Crimson Tide. There's been 1 error and a couple of other misplays to allow UAB to score a couple of runs here. And we're about to head back to the top of the order with the center fielder, Bella Wiggins, to the plate. Runners on first and second. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field here at the Rhoads house. 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield. UAB trying to get their first ever victory over Alabama, and they're up 2-0. First pitch to Bella Wiggins is in there for a called strike. Wiggins is 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up. The 0-1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 0-1 is fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runners on first and second. 2-0 UAB. The 1-2 pitch comes in too high. They throw back behind the runner at second. But Miles is back in time, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Hard hit ball to short, but Cahalan is there to get it on the 1 hop. Throws the second to get the out and retire the side. But UAB strikes first here in the top of the second inning as the Blazers get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 2 runners left on base. We move to the bottom of the second, 2-0 UAB here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the home half of the second inning. UAB with a 2-0 lead on 2 unearned runs in the second for the Blazers. Alabama looks to answer back here in the home half of the second with Dowling, Clark, and Broadfoot due up 6-7-8 against Olivia Vollback in the circle. For UAB, the second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hitch your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer now available at stores near you. Bailey Dowling to lead things off. Dowling batting an even .300 on the season, 21 of 70 with 8 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 13 runs driven in.
Third baseman number 7, Bailey Dowling.
Dowling against UAB this year, 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Played in only one of the games. First pitch is a hard hit ball to short. The backhanded stop is made. The throw is going to be just in time from Dorsett to get the out. Here to start off the second inning. Really nice play by the Blazer shortstop. Ranging to her right, making the backhanded play deep at short. And made the throw to get out Dowling. So 1 out now for Kendall Clark. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Clark yesterday, most everybody that played against Sanford had a good day, but she had a really good day, 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. That pitch misses outside, 1-1. Clark had one of the 4 doubles in the 5-run 4th inning for Alabama. That one drops in too low. She checked her swing, 2-1. On the season, Clark batting .342. 13 of 38, 11 runs scored, 3 doubles, a homer, and 6 RBIs. The 2-1 finds a zone, 2-2. Clark had that home run against UAB. 2 for 2 against the Blazers with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. It's in the dirt, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Clark. Payoff pitch. That's a hard hit ball at the middle. Dorsett makes the play behind the second base bag and throws to get Clark by a half step as the UAB shortstop is just stealing base hits left and right here in this second inning.
First baseman number 12, Emma Broadfoot.
That will bring up Emma Broadfoot. 2 out, nobody on, 2-0 UAB. First pitch, low for ball 1. Broadfoot batting .194, 6 of 31, 4 runs scored with a double, a homer, and 9 runs driven in. The 1-0. Outside corner, 1-1. Broadfoot was 1 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Started and played in both games against the Blazers. High chopper to third. Stop made by Smith. The throw is in time, and Alabama goes down in order here in the second on 3 groundouts with some great plays by this UAB defense to keep the tide off the board. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left. We've played 2-0 UAB here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the top of the third inning. UAB with a 2-0 lead over Alabama. The third inning is presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's Bo time, y'all. Due up for the Blazers here in the third. Dorsett, Smith, and Fallback. 2-3-4 against Jayla Torrance, who gave up 2 unearned runs in that second inning.
Shortstop number 5, Canterbury set.
And UAB has staked themselves to a 2-0 lead. The first pitch is high and away for ball 1 to Dorsett, who flew out her first time up. Freshman from Trussville, Alabama. One-0, fouled back. 1-1. Dorsett, who was a high school teammate at Hewitt Trussville with Alabama's Kinley Cahalan. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Stop made by Hevlin. The throw's in time, and there's one away. That brings up third baseman Lindsey Smith, who struck out her first time up. Smith, a junior from Hayden, Alabama. First pitch. Popped up sky high on the infield. Dowling calls off Torrance there and makes the catch in the circle for out number 2. Between that and the bunts last inning, there's just been a lot of wonky plays defensively for Alabama, with Jayla Torrance, whether or not she's going to be fielding the ball herself from the pitching circle. It's the first pitch to the opposing pitcher. Olivia Vollback is in there for a called strike. Vollback singled and scored in the second. The 0-1 pitch. High. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. I guess a little low, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Called strike, 2-2. The 2-2. Low and inside. Count is full, 3-2. Payoff pitch to Vollback is fouled away into the Bama bullpen. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the payoff. Vollback lines it to right, but Clark is there. Will go to a knee, make the catch, and retire the side. So UAB goes down in order here in the top of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left. We move to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Blazers here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's Bo time, y'all. We move to the home half of the third. It's 2-0 UAB. Due up for the Tide here in the third. It'll be Lauren Johnson, Jenna Johnson, and Callie Hevlin. 9-1-2. Olivia Vollback back in the circle for the Blazers here for the home half of the third inning. Lauren Johnson to lead things off. Johnson, the freshman center fielder, right-handed hitting, batting .343, 12 of 35, 11 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 5 RBIs on the year.
Center fielder number 18, Lauren Johnson.
Played in both games, scored a run. Drew a walk, no official at-bats. First pitch. Bunt is put down, and it pops up and hits her while she's still in the batter's box. 4-1. Patrick Murphy is the head coach of the Crimson Tide in his 26th season as the Alabama head coach. He's over in the third base coaching box. The 0-1. Johnson with a flare that will fall for a base hit into shallow center field, so the leadoff single. First time today Alabama's had the leadoff man on. Starts things off here in the third.
Left fielder number 88, Jenna Johnson.
Now we'll bring up Jenna Johnson, who's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up. Murph has an Alabama head coaching record of 1,261 victories as the first pitch is low for ball 1. 360 losses, a .778 winning percentage. Assistant coach is Kayla Bro. She's over in the first base coaching box. The 1-0. Runner goes. It's in there for a strike, and the throw is in time to get Lauren Johnson stealing. Perfectly placed throw by Drody. And Johnson slid feet first right into the tag. Applied by Collette, the second baseman. The 1-1, Johnson with a hard hit ball to deep right field. This one's back, and this one's gone. Home run, Jenna Johnson into the Brickyard, and Bama's on the board. It's 2-1 UAB. It's a solo shot for Jenna Johnson, her third of the season, and RBI number 10. And that Bama home run is brought to you by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum, open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. So obviously the caught stealing is huge there, making it just a solo homer instead of a 2-run shot. First pitch to Callie Hevlin is low for ball 1. But Bama hopefully has broken the seal with that homer. The 1-0. Fouled off at the plate, 1-1 by Hevlin, who doubled her first time up. Junior from Three Rivers, Michigan. The 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Pitching coach for the Crimson Tide is Lance McMahon. The hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Coordinator of player development, Ryan I. Murray. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, and that hits her. Too far inside. So Alabama here in the third with a single, a homer, and a hit by pitch. Trying to do some damage here, second time through the order. With Abby Dukeshire to the plate. She walked her first time up. First pitch. Low and bounces away from Drody. Hevlin takes second on the wild pitch. Now the Tide has a runner in scoring position, and we're going to have a meeting in the circle. So we'll have an opportunity to finish off the sports staff for the Crimson Tide. Coordinator of player development, Ryan I. Murray. Director of softball operations, the birthday girl, Jaden Ribb Spencer. Athletic trainer, A.C. Atinka. Strength and conditioning coach is Michelle Diltz. Nathan Sheehan, sports information director. Scott Moyer, the video director. Assistant video director is Lindsay Garcia. Equipment manager, Stu Moore. And Brianna Leonard is the sports nutritionist for the Crimson Tide. For UAB, their head coach is A.J. Doherty in his second season as the Blazers' head man, and was a manager here for Alabama from 2006 to 2008. Associate head coach Sally Beth Birch. The pitching coach is Molly Hansen, who just came out and talked with Volbach. And assistant coach, former Alabama third baseman Ashley Prangy. That pitch is low, 2-0 now on Dukeshire. And the coordinator of player development for the Blazers, first to 2-0 to Dukeshire, is in the dirt, bounces away from Drody, and once again, Evelyn moves up 60 more feet on another wild pitch. The coordinator of player development for UAB is former Alabama manager Carson Owens. The 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. The 3-1. Duke swings and misses at what would have been ball 4. And the count's now full, 3-2. UAB, tying run on third base right now for Alabama. The payoff pitch to Dukeshire is low for ball 4, and Dukeshire walks for the second time today, putting runners on the corners with 1 out. For Bama catcher Marley Giles. And Dukeshire is going to be pinch run for now by Patrick Murphy. And heading out to run at first is Kinley Pate. Sanford transfer. Kinley Pate on first. Callie Hevlin on third, and Marley Giles to the plate. First pitch from Volbach. Called strike. And a cool story Patrick Murphy told us in the dugout about yesterday, Kinley Pate playing her former team yesterday. The 0-1. Giles fouls it back. No balls and 2 strikes. And got her first career at bat for Alabama in that ball game. And then Patrick Murphy realized there in the 5th inning it had become run rule territory and had run out of chances to put her in, as that pitch is low, 1-2. So Kat Grill was coming up to bat, and she had replaced Jenna Johnson, so you couldn't pinch hit for her and put her back in. The 1-2, fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Patrick Murphy went to Kat Grill and says, will you be a good teammate and allow Kinley Pate to bat for you? The 1-2 is swung on and missed in the dirt for strike 3. Pate takes second. And now there's 2 gone.
Shortstop number 31, Kelly Callahan.
So Kat Grill said absolutely. Gave up her spot. Great teammate, Kat Grill. Line drive, that's going to get down for a base hit into center field. 1 run will score. Pate rounds third. She will score as well. And Alabama takes the lead on the 2-run single by Kinley Cahalan. It's now 3-2 Crimson Tide.
Third baseman, number 7, Bailey Dowling.
Just a hard hit ball by Kinley Cahalan, something else Patrick Murphy wanted to see a lot of today. Hard hit balls, and got one there from Cahalan. Drove in 2 and gave Alabama the 3-2 lead. And Bailey Dowling takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Dowling's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up. The 1-0 pitch. And that's off Volbach's glove. It's still on the infield, and no one's going to be able to get to it. A line drive right back up the middle. Volbach was able to get a glove on it, but could not make the catch. And it landed just in between Volbach and Collette at second. So that'll be an infield single for Dowling. Runners now on first and second with 2 outs, and Kendall Clark to the plate. First pitch, low for ball 1. Clark's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up. The second, a back-to-back great plays by Dorsett, the shortstop, for UAB. Alabama has broken through here in the third. They have a 3-2 lead. The 1-0 is low. 2 balls and no strikes now on Clark. Two-zero pitch, low again, 3 balls and no strikes. Clark, the junior from Humboldt, Iowa, transfer from Des Moines Area Community College. 3-0 pitch is a called strike. Somewhere around the knees, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, fouled away. Clark stays alive. Now at 3-2. Clark with a line drive, that's off Collette, but she's able to collect it at second and make the throw to get Clark for out number 3. So another hard hit ball, but this time the out is recorded, and that'll do it for the Tide here in the third. But Alabama takes the lead as they get 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 3. It's Alabama 3, UAB 2 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Alabama with a 3-2 lead over UAB. Due up for the Blazers here in the 4th. Aguilar, Collette, and Drody. 5-6-7 against Jayla Torrance back out in the circle for her 4th inning of work. Jaylen's gone 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs that were both unearned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, 48 pitches, 35 strikes thrown by the senior from Dothan, Alabama. UAB had a 2-0 lead. The last time in this series history that Alabama trailed by 2 or more runs against the Blazers came back in February 28th of 2017 in Birmingham. First pitch to Aguilar, blown away for ball 1. Bama trailed 3-0 in the 3rd inning before eventually coming back to win 5-4 in 8 innings over the Blazers, who, again, have never defeated the Crimson Tide. The 1-0 went too far around on a check swing, 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, 4 left for Alabama. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left for UAB. The 1-1 swung on and missed, 1-2. Alabama in the all-crimson uniforms, the crimson jerseys with the white script Bama across the chest, crimson pants, and crimson socks. The 1-2 pitch, grounded to 3rd. Dowling's there on the 2nd hop, make the stop and the throw for out number 1. UAB in the gold over green, gold jerseys with green blazers and block lettering across the chest, green pants, and green socks. 1 out. Kaylee Collette steps in, the first pitch, right in there for a called strike. Collette laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up. Tried to bunt there, didn't pull it back. It's 0-2. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes, and Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. The 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch popped up on the infield, deep first, ranging back behind the first base bag. In the grass is Hevlin. She'll make the catch, and there's 2 gone. Then we'll bring up Mackenzie Drody, the catcher. She struck out her first time up. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Alabama softball's upcoming schedule brought to you by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. First the 0-1. High and tight, almost hit her, 1-1. It's Bama's off weekend in the SEC, so the Tide hosts top 15 Virginia Tech here in Tuscaloosa this weekend for 2 matchups. Friday's first pitch is set for 6. We'll be on the air at 5:50. Swing and a miss, 1-2 now on Drody. 6 o'clock first pitch, 5:50 airtime on Friday. 1 o'clock first pitch, 12:50 airtime on Saturday for Bama and the Hokies. The 1-2 is high, 2-2. The 2-2. Drody. Fly ball to right. Clark settles underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. So after UAB scored 2 in the top of the second, Torrance sits down the Blazers 1-2-3 in both the third and the fourth innings. We head to the home half of the fourth. 3-2 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. (3-2) Alabama due up for the Tide here in the fourth. Broadfoot, Johnson, and Johnson against Olivia Vollback. Back out now for her 4th inning of work. Vollback has gone 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs that have all been earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 57 pitches and 31 strikes thrown by Vollback. Alabama plated 3 in the third to take the 3-2 lead over UAB. The 4th inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order with an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. Emma Broadfoot will lead things off. She grounded out her first time up. Broadfoot, the senior from Danville, Alabama, the transfer from North Alabama. She'll step in here. First pitch. Low for ball 1. Friday will be quite the busy day here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Talked about softball. 5:50 airtime, Alabama, Virginia Tech. That one comes in low, 2-0. There will be a point on Friday, late afternoon, early evening, where we'll have 4 sports going here on CTSN. The 2-0. Broadfoot lines it to short. Catch made by Dorsett for out number 1. And that was a rope hit by Broadfoot, but right at the UAB shortstop for the first out.
Center fielder number 18,
And that'll bring up the center fielder, Lauren Johnson. She singled her first time up. First pitch to the freshman. Bunted foul for strike 1. 4:25 will be the airtime for Bama women's basketball as the Tide takes on Florida State in the first round of the NCAA tournament from Austin, Texas. 4:55 the airtime for Bama baseball in Athens taking on Georgia for the first of 3 in that SEC series, as that one comes low, 1-1. And then 5:30 will be the airtime for Bama men's basketball taking on the College of Charleston in the first round of the NCAA tournament up in Washington State. So that one's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be great to see Alabama go 4-0 on Friday. That's certainly the plan. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Dorsett ranges over, makes a stop in the throw to get Johnson for out number 2. So back to the top of the order, and Jenna Johnson.
left fielder number 88, Jenna Johnson.
The bomb exploded without any warning last inning. Solo shot, getting Alabama on the board. First pitch is low for ball 1. 1 for 2 on the day with that home run. Bama went on to score 2 more in that third inning to take the 3-2 lead. 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. That one bounces in. 2-1 now. That one's lined to center on the run, and making the catch is Wiggins for out number 3 to retire the side. 2 of the 3 balls hit pretty hard here in the 4th inning, but they both found defenders, and UAB sits the tie down in order here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We've played 4. It's 3-2 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The 5th inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Crimson Tide with a 3-2 lead over UAB. Due up for the Blazers here in the 5th. It'll be Miles, Dupree, and Wiggins. 8-9-1 against Shayla Torrance. Congratulations to Taco. Taco coming away with the win in the Taco Hot Sauce race, as literally Hot Sauce ran out of their shoes. They left the shoes on the warning track. First pitch to Hannah Miles is inside for ball 1. I did pick Taco, so happy to get back on the board. It had been a few games, the losing streak there in the search for the Lindsey Jones Cup up here in the press box as that one's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miles with the RBI single her first time up. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, and it gets past Hevlin into right field for the base knot. Hevlin was moving to her left, deep in the hole there between first and second, and just couldn't quite get the glove there. And that's a now 2-for-2 day for Hannah Miles. As Auburn Dupree now steps in, timeout called. Marley Giles is going to go out and talk with Jayla Torrance and the entire Alabama infield. We haven't seen any coaches pop their head out of the dugout, so this may be a players-only meeting. Gives us a chance to take a look at the Out of the Box Podcast scoreboard update. Scoreboard update is brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow at Out of the Box _pod on the Twitter, as that one is a called strike, 0-1, or the X, whatever you want to call it. Also, be sure to check out the all-new It Just Means More Softball SEC podcast from Softball America, hosted by myself and Gray Robertson. That bunt is foul, no balls and 2 strikes. That's live on YouTube Monday evenings at 6 Central. The new Out of the Box episode dropped yesterday morning, recapping the week for Alabama softball. We talked with the ESPN analyst and former Texas A&M star Tori Vidalis, and had another epic Tom's Hungry from Tallahassee and Athens. The 0-2, slap and run, and it's fouled away. We'll do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. Also recapped during Tom's Hungry the home trip to the Torrance house in Dothan, which was excellent. Another 0-2. That one's in the dirt. It bounces away from Giles, and the runner will take second on the wild pitch. Also on Monday on the It Just Means More Softball podcast, we talked with Tennessee star Kiki Malloy. So like, subscribe, and share to all of that. 1-2, low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll go around the horn. Games that are either wrapping up or currently underway. Top 25 and SEC. First 2-2 pitch to Dupree. And that's up the middle on the slap. It's knocked down by Torrance, and it gets past the shortstop, and now Jenna Johnson throws the ball away, but it bounced right back to Emma Broadfoot, so no harm, no foul there. But that's just going to go down as an RBI single for Auburn Dupree, and we're tied up at 3. If Torrance doesn't hit that ball with the glove, Cahalan probably gets it without much issue, but that knocked it off course. And then Lauren Johnson came in to back it up, tried to get the runner rounding too far around first, overthrew it, but it bounced right back to Broadfoot. And now Patrick Murphy is on his way out to talk with Jayla Torrance and the entire Alabama infield. It's a final from Lexington. Kentucky beat Marshall by a final score of 7-0. And we are going to see a change in the circle for Alabama. So we'll take a timeout, come back, give you more of the scoreboard update, and tell you about the new pitcher for the Tide. There's nobody out, a runner on first for UAB as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. It's 3-3 between Alabama and the Blazers. Back with the new pitcher after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. To the bullpen, we remind all Crimson Tide fans to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here and COVID-19 continues to affect our community, so don't wait, vaccinate. After going 4 full innings but giving up the lead here in the top of the 5th inning, Jayla Torrance will give way to the new Bama pitcher, the right-handed freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, Jocelyn Brisky. Brisky on the year has a .327 ERA and a 4-0 record. This is her 8th appearance of the season. She's pitched 25 2/3 innings, 23 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned, 10 walks, 30 strikeouts, while it's hitting .232 against Brisky on the year. Brisky got the start yesterday against Samford, went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs that were both earned, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And she comes in replacing Jayla Torrance, who went 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, 70 pitches and 50 strikes thrown by Torrance. She is responsible for the runner on first base. First pitch to Bella Wiggins. Is the bunt pulled back. The runner takes off, and she's going to be thrown out stealing. Missile thrown from behind home plate from Marley Giles. Cahalan applied the tag. And there's one gone on the caught stealing. And there's a ground ball to short. Cahalan's there, has to hurry with the speed of Wiggins, but throws in plenty of time, and there's 2 gone.
Shortstop number 5, Henry Brissett.
So it does close the book on Torrance. 4 innings, 3 runs, 1 earned. So 2 outs, nobody on now for Hannah Dorsett. She's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. The first pitch is low and away for ball 1. Continuing the Out of the Box podcast scoreboard update, they're in the top of the 1st inning, just underway, and Texas already has a 1-0 lead over Florida State in Tallahassee. That one hits the inside corner, 1-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th. Texas A&M traveling to Texas State, and they're tied up at 1. That one comes in high, 2-1. Bottom of the 3rd, Oklahoma having no trouble with UT Arlington. UT Arlington scored first, but Oklahoma has scored 10 unanswered. It's 10-1 Sooners. The 2-1, ground ball to short on 2 hops. Cahalan with a stop in the throw, and that'll do it for the Blazers here in the 5th inning. Brisky comes in, shuts down UAB here in the 5th inning. And we stretched here in Tuscaloosa, now with the score tied at 3. But for UAB here in the 5th, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, no runners left. 3-3 UAB and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We move to the home half of the 5th inning. It's 3-3, Alabama and UAB. Due up for the Tide here in the 5th. Hevlin, Dukeshire, and Giles. 2-3-4 against Olivia Vollback in the circle for Alabama. The 5th inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. Callie Hevlin will lead things off for Alabama as we open up play here in the home half of the 5th inning. Hevlin 1 for 1, doubled in the first, was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd. Tide looking to answer back after the Blazers tied things up with a single run in the 5th. Both teams have had 5 hits. Tied up at 3. The first pitch is low and inside to Hevlin for ball 1. Continuing our Out of the Box podcast scoreboard update, they're in the top of the 7th. Missouri with a 3-0 lead at Kansas. Big game for both those squads as that pitch is low, 2-0. Speaking of big games and rivalries, Clemson and South Carolina facing off at Clemson. As that one's a hard hit ball, and that's going to get through for a base hit in the 5-6 hole for Callie Hevlin. And Callie's now been on base all 3 of her plate appearances, 2 for 2, a double, a single, and hit by pitch. We'll bring up Abby Dukeshire, being officially re-entered in the ball game. She's walked twice, and her pinch runner, Kinley Pate, has scored a run here in the ball game. South Carolina at Clemson. They're in the top of the 10th inning, tied up at 3. The Gamecocks and the Tigers. The first pitch to Abby Dukeshire, low for ball 1. And another big story of that ball game, Valerie Cagle not playing at the game in street close. We don't know the status of the injury, as that one's in there for a strike, 1-1 on Dukeshire. Final from Athens. The 1-1 to Abby Dukeshire is a ground ball to third. A double clutch. They'll throw to second still to get the out, but unable to turn the double play is the UAB infield. Smith didn't get a good handle on the ball after she fielded it. Got the lead runner, and there's one away. So Dukeshire now on first. Hevlin retired on the fielder's choice. And Marley Giles will come to the plate. After this offensive timeout called by Patrick Murphy. But Georgia scored 6 runs in the second and 8 in the fourth, and they defeated Georgia Southern by a final score of 17-1 in 5 innings. So the Bulldogs had no trouble. Final from California, or from Berkeley, California, with the 6-0 win over Sacramento State. First pitch to Marley Giles is low for ball 1. Good win for Cal. They came away, they got swept by Stanford this past weekend and then just beat Sacramento State, who beat Stanford the midweek last week in an upset. That one misses. 2 balls and no strikes on Giles. Duke gets a 7-0 win over North Carolina Wilmington. The 2-0. Giles takes it low, 3-0. Florida in 5 innings, a 9-0 run rule win over Florida Gulf Coast, avenging an earlier loss, as that one is in there for a strike around the knees. 3-1. Giles thought she had drawn the walk. And Patrick Murphy letting Aaron Golden hear about it. The 3-1. Giles fouls it away, and the count's full, 3-2. Speaking of not having any trouble, Virginia Tech, Alabama's next opponent, scored at least 4 runs every inning they played, including an 11 spot in the fourth to beat Maryland Eastern Shore in 5 innings, 25-0. Giles fouls that one away. We'll do it again, 3-2. So just for a point of reference, had Maryland Eastern Shore scored 17 runs in the 5th, they still would have been run ruled. As that one is low for ball 4. Marley Giles draws the walk to put runners on first and second with 1 out.
Shortstop number 31, Kelly Cahalan.
And that's the offense Alabama is going to be facing off against this weekend. Kinley Cahalan steps in. Runners on first and second, 1 out. The first pitch to Cahalan is a ground ball to first. First baseman Aguilar Goes to her knees to make the stop, steps on the bag to get the second out. Runners advance to second and third, but there's now 2 away.
Third baseman number 7, Bailey Dowling.
2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position, and Bailey Dowling to the plate. First pitch, low for ball 1. Dowling 1 for 2, singled in the third, grounded out in the second. Final from Montgomery, Mississippi State, 10-2 over the Hornets of Alabama State. Dowling fouls that one away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Final from Liberty. Liberty gets the upset win over Charlotte, 6-5. It's been a rough year for Liberty, but that was a good win. 1 hopper to third. Dowling grounds out to the other third baseman, Smith, who made a nice stop in the throw to get Bailey and retire the side. So Alabama gets a couple of runners on here in the 5th inning, but can't get anybody home for the Crimson Tide here in the 5th. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We've played 5. It's Alabama 3, UAB 3 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from the airfield. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Alabama and UAB knotted up at 3, due up for the Blazers here in the 6th. It'll be Smith, Volbach, and Aguilar. 3-4-5 against Jocelyn Brisky back out. She came in relief last inning, shut the door on UAB. As Giles threw out a runner trying to steal, and 2 groundouts into that 5th inning, but UAB did tie things up at 3, and that's where we stand as we head to the 6th inning. Lindsey Smith will lead things off. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a pop out. First pitch to Smith is low and away for ball 1. And it's really been the bottom of the order for UAB that has done the damage, as 8 and 9 hole hitters, Hannah Miles and Auburn Dupree, are 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a run scored, and 4 singles. Called strike, 1-1 now on Smith. One more final to get to you. The second half of the doubleheader, Duke beat UNC Wilmington 6-1. So Blue Devils, the pair of wins today. Called strike on Smith, 1-2. Day number 2 of the first 4 in the NCAA tournament, men's basketball. Grambling and Montana State currently battling it out in Dayton. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smith went after 1 in the dirt. They'll throw it down to get the out. And there's 1 away. Grambling has had a big comeback, and they now lead Montana State 60-59 with 5:39 remaining in that ball game. Olivia Volbach steps in, takes the first pitch for strike 1. So those games that are still underway, we'll keep you up to date on those as the rest of the day goes along. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Well, we do get an opportunity to take a look at Alabama softball on this date here on March 20th. The 1-1, low and in, 2-1. Alabama 9-4 all time on this date. outscoring opponents 83-39. Tide got a doubleheader sweep win over South Carolina in 2010 on this date. That one hits the outside corner, 2-2. And got a big win over Tennessee in 2021 on this date. Getting the first of a series victory. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Ball back down on strikes. And there's 2 gone on back-to-back strikeouts from Jocelyn Brisky here against the heart of the order. Unfortunately, Bama's lost 2 in a row on this date, including last year's 2-1 loss in 10 innings to Arkansas here in Tuscaloosa. So trying to turn around that mojo. And A.J. Doherty looks like he's going to the lineup card for a pinch hitter. And it's going to be Lily Crow, senior from Moody, Alabama, batting for Alyssa Aguilar. Lines that one just foul down the third base line as Crow swinging at the first pitch and almost got extra bases out of it. Crow batting 143, 4 of 28 with a run scored, a double, and an RBI on the season. The 0-1 just misses outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And after the rise, 1-2. 2 out, nobody on, 3-3. Alabama UAB as we play here in the top of the 6th. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Mentioned UAB playing in the AAC for the first time this year, and it was a AAC team who pulled off a big upset yesterday. The 2-2 pitch is high, 3-2, as Tulsa knocked off number 4 Oklahoma State in Tulsa yesterday. Shut out 3-0. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got her with the rise, and Jocelyn Brisky strikes out the side here in the 6th to keep the Blazers off the board. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We move to the home half of the 6th inning. It's 3-3, Alabama and UAB here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 6th inning is presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. We move to the home half of the 6th. 3-3 between Alabama and UAB. Due up for the Tide here in the 6th. Bottom of the order, Clark, Broadfoot, and Johnson. 7, 8, 9. Olivia Vollback back out for her 6th inning of work here. Aguilar did re-enter the ball game. She's back out at first base. Vollback so far today in 5 innings. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. She's walked 3, struck out 2, and her first pitch of the 6th inning will be her 86th of the ball game. That pitch will come to Kendall Clark. She's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs here. First pitch is in there for a called strike. For Alabama, 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, 6 left. For UAB, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. The 0-1 is fouled away. 0-2. The 0-2's in the dirt. 1-2. Clark grounds that one. It's fair. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag momentarily, but Aguilar gets her foot back on to get the out. And there's one away. Thought Smith might have made a mistake there, fielding that one in fair territory, but she made a good enough throw to get Clark out, and there's one away. That brings up the first baseman, Emma Broadfoot, takes the first pitch for ball 1. Broadfoot's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. The 1-0 drops in for a strike, 1-1. Ground ball, that's going to get stopped on a dive by Dorsett. The throw, though, is not going to be in time. And my goodness, Hannah Dorsett over at short. Not letting anything get by her, but she did a great job to dive and keep that one from getting into the outfield. But on the infield, too deep to be able to throw out Broadfoot, so she reaches on the infield single. Now, Patrick Murphy comes out, talks to the home plate umpire. Looks like we're going to see a pinch runner come in for Broadfoot. And it's going to be Kristen White.
Number 3, Kristen White. At the plate, center fielder number 18, Lauren Johnson.
We'll bring up the center fielder, Lauren Johnson. So a lot of speed there on the base paths with Kristen White. We'll have to just be careful that leaving early for Kristen. UAB coming off of a 3-game series in Boca Raton against FAU where they got swept in conference play. As the first pitch to Lauren Johnson is low for ball 1. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out. They will host USF. And that ball bounces away from Doherty behind home plate. So White is able to get to second easily on the wild pitch. And now Alabama has a runner in scoring position, and Johnson didn't have to sacrifice herself there. And the UAB and USF in Birmingham in an AAC matchup this weekend. That one misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes now on Lauren Johnson. The 3-0 pulls it back on the bunt. It comes in low for ball 4. Now Alabama is in business here at the bottom of the order, setting the table for the top coming up. 1 out, runners on first and second. Tie ball game here in the 6th, and Jenna Johnson stepping up. Johnson 1 for 3, had the solo homer in the 3rd. First pitch, low for ball 1. Just all sorts of speed on the base path, so a base hit into the grass will score at least 1, if not 2. That one's in there for a strike at the knees, 1-1. Timeout called by Aguilar, the first baseman. She comes in and has a word with Vollback, who is about to throw her 99th pitch of the ball game here as we play with 1 out in the 6th. Alabama 1 for 7 here today so far. Runners in scoring position. We'd like to improve on that with Jenna Johnson at the plate, and that pitch comes in low, 2-1. The 2-1. Johnson takes a called strike on the outside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Johnson lines this one, and that's going to get down for a base hit into center field. 1 run will score. Johnson stays at second, stays at third, and Alabama's got the lead. It's now 4-3, Crimson Tide. I think Collette got a piece of it with her glove. Tried to make a leaping grab from second, but couldn't hold on to it. And Jenna Johnson goes down and gets it. And yes, looking at the TV replay, the ball did tick off the second baseman's glove. White scores. Lauren Johnson's on third. Callie Hevlin to the plate. First pitch is in there for a called strike. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hevlin 2 for 2 with a double, a single, a hit by pitch, and a run scored on the day. The 1-1. Hevlin grounds that one. It hits Lauren Johnson, but she was in foul ground, so nothing but a foul ball. Maybe a bruise for Lauren Johnson's knee or shin, but she's okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Patrick Murphy calls the offensive timeout and brings Hevlin and Dukeshire over to have a word. Runners on first and third. It's a 1-2 count. There's 1 out. Alabama's taking the 4-3 lead here in the 6th. Out of the Box podcast scoreboard update. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Texas leads Florida State 3-0. Top of the 6th, A&M and Texas State tied up at 1. Bottom of the 3rd is still Oklahoma 10, UT Arlington 1. It's a final from Kansas. Missouri gets a 3-2 win. Jayhawks scored 2, but couldn't catch Missouri in the 7th. That's a ground ball to third. Taking off and coming in and thrown out at home is Lauren Johnson. And Patrick Murphy immediately says, I want that reviewed. As it was a hard hit ball to third. This replay review is brought to you by the University Medical Center with 6 locations in West Alabama. University Medical Center provides comprehensive health care for you and your family. Call 205-348-1770 for an appointment. It was a hard hit ball to Smith at third. She actually just knocked it down with her glove, made the barehanded stop, and threw home. But the slide in by Lauren Johnson, to the naked eye, looked like she beat it. We'll now look at the replay. Smith has it and throws it in. Johnson tried to make a hook slide, and I actually think now that I think she's out. The tag was applied. Well, maybe not. Tag was applied to the left shoulder almost simultaneously with Johnson getting that left hand in on the plate. It's a really good slide there by Johnson. Yeah, it just depends on how quickly the glove got contact with that shoulder, and we'll find out. So as you heard right there, Scott Mayer with the out call.
I'm leaving it on the table.
So 2 outs. Hevlin on first on the fielder's choice. Jenna Johnson on second. And Abby Dukeshire to the plate. 2 outs. Bama still leads it by 1 in the first pitch to Abby Dukeshire. One hopper to third. Smith will make the stop, step on the bag to get the out and retire the side. Several more hard hit balls, but they're right to UAB infielders. But Alabama does take the lead here in the 6th inning as they get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the 7th inning, the last chance for UAB. It's Alabama 4, UAB 3 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 7th inning is presented by Tuscaloosa Ford. We'd like to thank Tuscaloosa Ford for providing transportation for the Crimson Tide Sports Network to all of the season's away games. Visit Tuscaloosa Ford for your next vehicle purchase. Roll Tide with Tuscaloosa Ford. We head to the top of the 7th inning, the last chance for UAB. The Crimson Tide with a 4-3 lead over the Blazers. 6, 7, 8 due up for UAB here. Collette, Drody, and Miles against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. She looks to finish this one off in her 3rd inning of relief. She would be the victor if Alabama's able to hold on to this 4-3 lead. First pitch to Haley Collette. Misses a little bit high for ball 1. Collette is 0 for 1, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, popped out in the 4th. Swing and a miss, 1-1. They're now heading to the 12th inning in Clemson. South Carolina and Clemson still tied at 3. And that one's fouled off, and that got a piece of Collette in the batter's box. So Aaron Golden will walk out and give Collette a couple extra seconds to collect herself. 1 ball, 2 strikes on her. And we got one coming down to the wire in the first 4. 15 seconds left between Grambling and Montana State. They're knotted at 72. The 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Collette. The 2-2 is popped up on the infield. Foul ground, first base side, Broadfoot settles underneath it. She makes the catch for out number 1. And now A.J. Doherty is going to call for a pinch hitter. Now batting for UAB is Hope Tucker. Batting for Mackenzie Drody. Tucker, a freshman from Sterlington, Louisiana. Batting .222 on the season. First pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 2 of 9 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Doherty just trying to get a runner on. Called strike, 0-2. Not a whole lot of power on this UAB roster. So looking to try to manufacture something for the bottom of the order. The 0-2 is low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As I mentioned, the 8-9 hitters, Miles and Dupree, 4 for 4 so far today. The 1-2 pitch. Little outside, 2-2. Brisky looks in, the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Tucker is down on strikes. And UAB is down to their final out. 4th strikeout of the day in relief by Brisky. And Hannah Miles is the last chance for the Blazers. 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. First pitch is a little low for ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Hits the inside corner, strike 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. On the rise ball, high and tight. And the Blazers down to their final strike. And the Bama fans here at the Rhoads house to their feet. Bama looks to finish this one off. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went after one in the dirt. They'll throw it down to get the out, retire the side, and end the ball game as Jocelyn Brisky comes in and retires all 7 of the batters that she faced, including getting the Blazers 1, 2, 3 in both the 6th and the 7th inning to finish things off and give Alabama the 4-3 victory. With the win, Alabama improves to 24-5 overall. UAB falls to 12-16, and Alabama remains undefeated against the UAB Blazers all-time in program history, 33-0. For Alabama, 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 runners left on base. For UAB, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on. Jocelyn Brisky is the winning pitcher. Brisky improves her record to 5-0, and Olivia Vollback, the starter, is the losing pitcher. She went complete game to get the loss, and Vollback is now 3-5 on the season. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa post-game report. Bama wins it 4-3 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Alabama and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Alabama. It's the Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa post-game report as Alabama comes away with a midweek victory over UAB by a final score of 4-3 to beat the Blazers for the 33rd time in a row. And that's what the series all-time record is. Alabama has never lost to the Blazers, and it wasn't the prettiest outing, but Alabama came away with the 4-3 win in the final midweek home game of the 2024 season already here in March. But Alabama gets the win, and now the Tide will be able to look to Virginia Tech in that big matchup with the Hokies coming up here this weekend. But Bama came away with the win here, and here are the final stats from today's ball game. We'll start with UAB as they fall to 12-16 with the loss. They got 2 runs in the second and 1 in the fifth for the 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Wiggins 0 for 3, Dorsett 0 for 3, Smith 0 for 3. Ballback went 1 for 3 with a run scored. Aguilar was 0 for 1 with a run scored. Crow, as a pinch hitter, was 0 for 1. Collette was 0 for 2. Drody was 0 for 2. Tucker, as a pinch hitter, was 0 for 1. The bottom of the order did a lot of the damage. Miles, 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored, and Dupree, 2 for 2 with an RBI. In the circle, Olivia Vollback took the complete game loss. She's now 3-5 on the year. 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs all earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts as she threw 106 pitches and 58 strikes. We want to remind you that in less time than an inning, you could be saving money by applying for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Assurance Mortgage is a proud partner of the Crimson Tide. For Alabama, they improved to 24-5 with the victory and run the win streak to 3 in a row with the win here today. 3 runs in the third and 1 in the sixth for their 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 runners left on base. Jenna Johnson was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored here in the ball game, and Jenna Johnson had 0 game-winning RBIs entering yesterday's game and got the game-winning RBI in both yesterday and today's matchup between Samford and the UAB game here this evening. Callie Hevlin was 2 for 3 with a run scored. Abby Dukeshire was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Kinley Pate, as a bench runner, scored a run. Marley Giles was 0 for 2 with a walk. Kinley Cahalan was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Bailey Dowling 1 for 3. Kendall Clark was 0 for 3. Emma Broadfoot was 1 for 3. Kristen White, as a pinch runner, scored a run. Lauren Johnson was 1 for 2 with a walk here in the ball game. Jalen Torrance got the start for Alabama, went 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. As Jayla threw 70 pitches and 50 strikes, Jocelyn Brisky went the final 3 innings and got the win. She's now 5-0. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts, 35 pitches, and 21 strikes. Time of the game, 1 hour and 42 minutes. Your attendance, 3,779 of the best softball fans in the country paid to see it as Alabama comes away with the 4-3 victory. And again, not the cleanest overall game. Alabama a little sloppy defensively, which kind of led to the 3 runs scoring in that third inning to give UAB, or excuse me, the 2 runs scoring in the second inning to give UAB the lead at the time. They got the run in the fifth to tie it up, but Alabama got the run when they needed it and got a great outing, especially in relief, by Jocelyn Brisky. Tom's Final Thought is brought to you by DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. Here's my final thought before we wrap things up here this evening. This is more of what usually Alabama and UAB games are. UAB usually gives Alabama their best effort. Olivia Vollback pitched very well. We did not see Olivia Vollback pitch against Alabama in Birmingham here when the 2 teams played twice in February, which might have added to the reasons why Alabama got 8-0 and 15-0 victories over the Blazers. But usually you're going to get a hard-fought matchup from UAB, and they're going to give you their best shot in these types of games. Alabama took that best shot and was able to come away with the victory. And after what we talked about yesterday with the win over Samford, took care of your business, and now it's on to the next, and we move on to a big top 15 matchup this weekend, a couple of matchups with a very good Virginia Tech team. Again, a team that just scored. Yes, Maryland Eastern Shore, not very good, but they just scored 25 runs against them in 4 innings of offense. So, it's a very potent offensive team coming in. You're going to have to get really good starts from your pitchers if you're Alabama and get that timely hit as they were able to do here tonight. But that's going to do it for this broadcast, the Bama Softball Postgame Report, brought to you by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. It's more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Softball. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. Our live booth cam producer is Ethan Carabin, and our studio engineer has been Wyatt Fulton. For everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Alabama gets the 4-3 win over UAB. Tune in again on Friday when Bama takes on Virginia Tech in the first of 2 against the Hokies this weekend. First pitch is set for 6. We'll be on the air at 5:50. Till then, roll Tide from Tuscaloosa.